Hey, Simon, what's going on? 9 days. So a week from Tuesday. Where are you staying? I can't remember. Check. Thomas, I was just thinking of you because we got to do your show, but we got to wait till Pam's going to be gone next. Well, Scott's gone now. Pam's gone next week. And I want to make sure we're all here so we can all do the show with you because Pam's got a conference and Scott's on the lazy river at Alani, I think, right now. So we've got to do our shows. So sometime in early November, hopefully it'll work out. Movies, then cruise, and pop. Oh my gosh, you're doing it right, Simon. And if you're at DCA, okay, if I could do one thing at DCA tonight for me, Thomas, World of Color and a corn dog. The corn dog back in the back there, kind of over by the Zeppelin ride. Get the corn dog. Yeah, corn dog for me. Hey, Mindy, hope the kids are killing it in their sports. I'm going to need calls tonight, by the way, because Scott's, he's abandoned me. He's out on an island. He's on island time, and I'm here. I can't complain, though. It's like a chilly Midwestern fall weekend, and we just made my wife just made chili in a crock pot. Oh, God, it's great. Oh, I thought you were you're at DC. I thought you were at California Adventure. And that'd be better. So you get a corn dog. Maybe they have corn dogs at the airport. Probably not as good. Definitely not seeing World of Color. My bad. Who else is digging the Tampa Bay Buccaneers uniforms today? The creamsicles. Oh, man. Potato soup and bacon. Oh, man. Yeah, you get that first cold snap. See, we lent out our crock pot a couple years ago and never got it back. And I was so in the mood for chili today. I told my wife, I said, I think Kohl's has crock pots on sale. We went and bought a new crock pot today. We got a steal of a deal. She had Kohl's cash and they were 50% off. We ended up getting a crock pot for like 30 some bucks and the chili was totally worth it. Oh, so good. Hey, what's up, Peter, up in Massachusetts? We'll start the show here in just a couple of minutes. Spread the word where we are in socials. Already had 2 bowls of chili. I could go back and get another one after this. Man, that was good. I love crockpot chili. Hey, Michelle, thanks. This is just stock stuff that's in our in the library here. Yes, crock pots. Yes. It's a Midwest staple. That's exactly right. Kohl's Cash. It's the scam that keeps you coming back. Do you have Kohl's Cash? Apparently, like there was like a layer on top. She told me the story when she got back. She had Kohl's Cash, and then when she got to the checkout, the cashier lady told her check your app because you may have Kohl's Ash Cap on top of that, and she did. So not only was the crock pot like half off, she had Kohl's Cash to apply, and then if she opened her app, she had additional Kohl's Cash from the app or something. So that's how it got down to like less than, she ended up paying like 30% of the price. Hey, down in Louisville, you guys took care of Notre Dame a couple weeks ago, and then this week not so much. How about the Mizzou Tigers? 6-1, baby. I promise there won't be so much college football talk tonight because Scott's not here. But man, I'm happy. All my teams won this weekend. Howell, undefeated conference champs. Alabama, Roll Tide. MIZ. I slept good last night. I'll be happy all week till Friday. And then it starts all over. It's funny because this weekend is our homecoming for Mizzou in Columbia. We play against South Carolina, but our high school football team actually plays in Columbia this Friday night. So I think we're driving to Columbia for the football game on Friday night, driving back to St. Louis after the game, and then driving back to Columbia on Saturday morning for the football game because Mallory doesn't have a ticket. It's sold out. Roll Tide. Of course, it's third Saturday in October. You know they're not going to do it twice in a row. You guys had your goalpost last year. I was on my way to trivia for the cheer squad last year. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe that game. That kick. Pretty epic scene at Neyland, but still couldn't believe it. I love Neyland. Don't get me wrong. I went there once in 2015 to see Mizzou play, and we won. That place that's the loudest place I've ever been in my life. I can't wait to go back. There's no place like Neyland. I'll give you that. What's his face from CBS was so wrong when he said it's no big deal with the home field advantage there. He is so wrong. That is a home field advantage. It's crazy. Gary Danielson. Oh, the other Columbia. Hey, Deanna. See, we call ours Como. GBO. Roll Tide. Okay, hang on. I was getting a little too GBO in this place. Oh, let's get started. All right, I'm gonna need your calls for the next hour because again, Scotty's out. So let me do my opening thing and then we'll get rocking. All right, here we go. Let me figure out how to turn this music off. There we go. Pirate, there we go. Pirate on YouTube. I like it. Oh, Ian. Roll Tide. All right, we gotta do this. I gotta turn the music off. I like the music, but you're going away. Pause. You're fun. You're a toy, but I gotta put the toy away. Okay. All right, I see calls coming in, so hang tight. Let me do the introduction, and then we'll get started. Got to do this the right way. My dad might be listening. All right, here we go. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the BOGP Open Line for Sunday night, October 15th, 2023. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Sunday evening to you, to all the folks who are tuned in live here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Hope you had a great fall weekend, and we are going to spend the next hour talking Disney here at 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395. And I'm going to throw the chat link here in the chat room. So if you want to join us live kind of via Zoom, not Zoom, but our live video chat, you can do that as well. So watch for the link in the chat. You can just click on that and join us there as well. But right now, let's get some topics to talk about on Friday's podcast. Of course, Scott is not here tonight. He is out at Alani. He just arrived yesterday, kind of late last evening, over to Disney's Alani Resort and Spa. And as far as I can tell from his social media, he's living large so far. I saw that he was having dinner with Chip and Dale earlier today, this afternoon. I guess that would be lunch. He's been on the lazy river from Five My Friends. I've seen that he's been on the beach looking out into the North Pacific Ocean. Not that I'm jealous, but he's my bud, and I'm just glad that he's living his best life. It's awesome. He's celebrating his 40th birthday. So follow him on the social media this week for some awesome content at Epscott, EPSCOT, and send him a birthday shout out if you don't mind. All right, we got some phone lines or some phone calls coming in. I need your phone calls tonight, 407-413-9395. So let's just jump in and get right to it. First call of the night. Hey, who's joining us?
Hey, this is Ian from Pittsburgh. How are you?
Ian, thank you for calling in. M-I-Z, because I know you had trouble with that last time.
Well, you stole my thunder. So I'll say Z-O-U.
Got it. Okay, perfect. See, I got it right here on my sweatshirt. If you're watching the video, so if anybody needs trouble, you can just kind of spells it out right here. And then we got.
I can spell today.
Okay, so. Good. No, just glad to hear from you. Hope you're having a great weekend with the fam.
We are, yeah. You know, our Auburn did not do well yesterday, but we were cheering for the Missouri Tigers, and they did great versus Kentucky. So we're really happy about that.
We appreciate that. Yeah, Hugh Freeze, his hair kind of goes wild a little bit when he struggles, but I like Hugh Freeze.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's something.
Yeah. I think he has a little bit of a quarterback. You know, he's not sure who to put in there, and so he's going to have to sort some things out.
It's early. First year struggles. You got to build a program.
Yeah. They're rebuilding.
Yeah, right.
So, but good for Mizzou. We're really excited for them. And I've got the chant down. So, we're good now.
We appreciate it. So what's going on? What are we going to talk about tonight? We got a lot of topics we could address.
Yeah, I'm glad you're doing a show tonight because I was doing a 10-mile run today and I was listening to your, your dining question show or your dining ADR show.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought you had said that you had maybe a cheerleading thing this weekend. So I was like, oh, I won't call in. But then I saw you were doing a show. So I thought I'd, just call in real quick.
Sure. Yeah, it was last weekend. We had cheer. We came in second, regionals.
Oh, I'm off a week.
Yeah,
okay.
No, it was last weekend. Yeah, so we're good. We're back.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that was last weekend. Not that we're bitter about coming in second, but thanks for bringing that back up. No, I'm just kidding. I just forgotten about it. No, just kidding.
I lost the whole week. I went to, my dad was in the hospital in Arizona. So I flew out to Arizona and I flew home last Sunday. And so I missed a whole week and I'm just catching up on my shows, but I did fly over St. Louis. So I thought about you guys and, in St. Louis when I was flying over. But I'm finally catching up on all my shows. And I wanted to let you know that we're doing like a Plan Disney reunion. We do it every year.
Cool.
And a bunch of us get together and we go out to Walt Disney World for a few days. And so that's coming up. And I'm really excited. So I'm going to do some food and wine festival stuff. I know you went and we talked about that. I don't know if you tried anything that really stood out to you. I'm sure you probably talked about it. I can't remember what you said.
Yeah, I did. See, I don't do a ton of that stuff because I'm not like a big sampler, and I don't know. I went around and had some
stuff.
You like
a big meal.
I do. I like to sit down at a big meal. That's just kind of my style. I think it's my Midwestern kind of like how I'm brought up, right? It's like you sit down at 3 squares. I'm not like when people say like, oh, it's tapas, it's small plates. To me, that it like in parentheses, that's like expensive and not enough food. Like that's what I'm hearing. And I know I got to get out of that mindset when I go to Walt Disney World. But I did have over in, I think it was Ireland, over by the UK. I had that like warm pudding. That stuff was super good.
Oh, the chocolate cake.
Yep,
I want to try that.
that was super good. I had the spam something from Hawaii booth. That was super good actually. The spam was a
Okay.
sushi, I think.
I'm guessing they don't have that in Missouri.
No, totally don't. But I gave that a shot. That was super good. And the slider, the
Okay.
pork slider, that was good. But again, I'm just more like I just want to get there and just have like a meal. Like that and I know
Yeah.
that's kind of the festival is. You walk around, that's kind of you make a day of it. I don't
My
know.
husband's the same way.
I just give me like beer garden. You know what I'm saying? Like like plant me
Oh,
in a
yeah.
restaurant
See,
with a little
you
entertainment
and
and a buffet.
my husband's name's Bob, and he's the same way. Like, he loves beer garden. He's not a big fan of the festivals. He just wants to sit down, eat a meal. He doesn't want to graze like that.
Yeah,
So,
same.
but I'm all about that.
I mean, I have nothing against it. I just know we're all kind of different. I mean, I totally understand why people enjoy the festivals because you really do absolutely get to try things you wouldn't get to try at home. Because like that spam sushi, and like I've also, I think during I don't know Festival of the Arts or something, I had that back in Japan, that like sushi donut thing. I mean, that thing was
Yeah.
crazy, right? It was like, I mean, it was great for Instagram. It was awesome. It tasted great. Where would I have had that in St. Louis? Never. But
Never.
it was an opportunity, but I don't want to make a whole meal or day out of that. Like it was just I was walking past, like that looks cool. I grabbed it, ate it, and moved on. So, so what do you guys
That's
plan on
great.
doing? So you get one thing. Does Lorenzo come to those things still? Mark Lorenzo?
He does. He does. So I really like Mark. He's one of the original. I
Yeah,
think
he
he was
is.
class. The panel started back in 2008, and he was like 2010. So Mark is so down to earth, and he'll always come over and talk to me. He's done the marathon before. So last time we had the reunion last year, he came over and he's like talking to me about how to use the timer, with the intervals and how to do, fueling and that kind of stuff. He was really nice. And he said he knew you. We did talk about the BOGP, podcast. So he's a great guy, really, really nice. And I think he's coming again. I don't think he ever misses.
Yeah, I don't think he does either. I always see like he posts and
Right.
stuff. So if you see him, just tell him I said hello because I miss talking to the guy. We used
I
to always
will.
talk.
I
Okay, good.
definitely will. He's an OG. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
was class of 2019. So I was a little further down the road, but I'm kind of getting middle aged now when it comes to the panel because we have a bunch of newbies that are going to be there this year. But we're not the new toys anymore. Like, in Toy Story, how they want to play with the new toys. Our class is not the new toys anymore.
Oh, I know. It's like when I go on
know.
Facebook and I see my students posting pictures of their babies. I'm like, dude, you were a sixth grader when I had you, and now you're having kids.
I know.
What is going on?
Same way. So
that can't happen.
But we always have something kind of fun at reunion. The people that run it, like last year, we had a great party, and it's in World Showcase. That big tent they sometimes do festival stuff in.
Yeah, World Showplace, right?
Yes,
yeah.
World Showplace. Mm-hmm. So they had a fun party in there. This year, I think we're doing a little bit like a behind the scenes thing at Animal Kingdom. So that'll be really fun. And then we also just have a lot of free time where we can go do stuff, whatever we want to do. And we're going to go, I know a bunch of us are going to go to the Not So Scary Halloween party. So,
so
in our class, the girls from 2019, our theme that we're going to dress as is our favorite Magic Kingdom attraction.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
So the last time I haven't been to the party in probably 5 or 6 years, but I ran into a group like 10 years ago. This was not the last time I went, but probably 10 years ago. Because I remember I had a Mizzou jersey on, and it was when it was probably because I had a Chase Daniel jersey on. I remember I could picture the picture. So it was probably 15 years ago, actually, now that I think about it. But I got the group's costumes were so good that I got my picture with them, and they were all costumes they all were like major characters from attractions at Walt Disney World. So one of the people was the girl from Spaceship Earth that's like in the computer room, like the female, like she's got
I would have
Ricky
totally
calls her
done
Beyonce.
That, but that's Epcot.
Yeah, it's Epcot. I know it wouldn't work, but there was somebody that was like one of the Haunted Mansion, like stretching people.
Yes.
But but their costumes were spot on. I mean, it was unbelievable. Like, I don't know how they got like the materials. I mean, everything was so perfect. That's the thing. Is like I said, can I get my picture with you? Because like, I mean, Disney couldn't have done these costumes any better. And they're walking around, and it was just a
I
group of
know.
friends. You know, it wasn't like they might have been cast members. I don't know. I didn't really pry. You know, I'm always kind of shy about
Right.
asking, but their costumes were so good. I was like, if I don't take this picture with them, so I have this story, I'll regret it. And maybe I'll post that picture on
Oh,
social
the
media.
costumes are amazing.
Oh, so good. So what's your plan? I
Get
mean, what do you got going? Where are you gonna be?
well, I'm no Captain EO like you were. You know, again, that's Epcot, but the thought did cross my mind. But um, so I have a few favorites, right? I love pirates. That's probably my absolute hands down favorite. But dressing up as a pirate's kind of like it's kind of common. So I was like, yeah. And then I love Carousel of Progress. It's a good one to take a nap in. And I just love John.
Yep, that's what one of the
And
characters was, John from Carousel Park. He had the
oh
fan,
my
the one
gosh,
that
he's
said
so
Niagara
great. Yes,
Falls.
I was gonna do
Yes.
the Niagara
Yep.
Falls fan. I was gonna do
I'll
that.
post that picture tonight. I'll find it and I'll put it on my
Oh,
social
you
my
should.
I'll put yeah, because I got my picture with him at Pecos Bills because they sat down to eat and I was like, I'm gonna get in there right now.
Yes. Well, that was going to be my plan. I was going to do John with the Niagara Falls band,
Yep.
and then I changed my mind again, and I'm going to be Zurg.
Ah, nice. I like it. Because you know, most people would
You
go
know, who
Buzz.
Zurg is.
Most people go Buzz, and you're going, you know,
Well, right,
the
right.
anti-Buzz. I
Yes.
like it.
And so I have a costume, but it's kind of a Run Disney costume. So I know you like things that are multi-purpose. So I might
Absolutely.
be able to get a second use out of it.
Oh yeah. I've run as Buzz before. I mean, and so Zerg would
Well,
be
I know. I thought I could get somebody to run with me as Buzz, and I could be Zurg, so I can get two uses out of the costume.
yes,
So
yeah,
I
that'd be
thought, you
perfect
know
because
what,
you could like chase
I'm gonna
them.
do
Yeah,
it.
that'd be great. I like that. It's like a whole thing. You can chase them.
So
You'd be Zerg. Yeah.
so when you see me at marathon weekend and I'm wearing Zurg, you're gonna know.
Okay. And right there, Amy in the live chat says yes with a bunch of S's for Emperor Zerg. There you go. You're already getting people are gonna be looking for you.
Well, so my question to you is to tie it all in. Do you have any tricks or tips for the Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin? Because I know that's different from the Toy Story Midway Mania. But my friend always tells me she's one of my oh my goodness, Plan Disney friends, and she can be Galactic Hero. She gives me tips, and I just can't do it. But she says to shoot at Zurg and then also at the robot's hands or something and the volcano. But I don't know. Have you ever gotten Galactic Hero or have tips for
I
that
have.
ride?
Yeah, so it's his left hand. The big robot's left hand has like
Robot.
yeah,
Okay.
the left hand has like 100,000 point thing on it. So if you hit that, and here's just kind of a general rule that I have, and I apologize if somebody in the live chat posted something that's kind of inappropriate, but I don't know how to ban them, so just ignore that if you could, please.
Okay.
Because it's Facebook, of course. But one thing that I do in that game that I find now, this is usually if I'm by myself, but if I'm with like Mallory, I'll tell her, look, here's what we're gonna do. And you gotta decide who's gonna take the stick, right? And control. Cause
Right.
and I'm more competitive, so I usually take the stick. But if you turn around and like so shoot that robot, when you pass it, turn your car around and keep shooting the robot
Okay.
even as you pass it, like because you can still shoot it for another 10, 15, 20 seconds even though you're behind it. Most people quit. You're always, for some reason, I guess it's just how we're brought up, right? You always shoot whatever's in front of you, but that's on a
Right.
360-degree axis, so you can bring it all the way
Right.
around and still
Exactly.
shoot targets that you've passed, and that the light thing hits way far back. So I keep going after the
I've
robot even
tried
after I
that.
pass it.
I've tried that. I think my hand-eye coordination is really bad. And also, whenever they take that picture of me, I always have one eye closed and my tongue out. I think that
That
I just think that, I try to close the one eye, and I just think that probably my aim is about 5 feet off or something because I think I'm trying to hit it, and I end up with like 200 points at the end. One time I got 600,000 points, and my son thought I cheated. I said, I didn't cheat. It says on there. But I must have like randomly hit it by accident. But yeah, usually my aim is just so far off. I think I'm never going to get the Galactic Hero. But
well, sometimes it helps if you get
I got
stopped
60%
too.
one time.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot too sometimes, right? And two,
Right.
here's my problem is like once Toy Story Mania came out, the game got dramatically harder at this over at Magic Kingdom because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so much easier to play Toy Story because you can see what you're doing. Now that I go into I go into Buzz Lightyear, I'm like, I can't even see my laser. Like I don't know where I'm shooting. Like which one's mine? There's like 30 red dots in this place, and I can't tell which one's mine anymore. But before they put in Toy Story, I was fine. Exactly. So do I, but I'm a baby because I've been upgraded now to a real game over in the studios. And so now I'm like, what's going on? I feel like, like an 80-year-old guy, like, I can't do this now. There's too many red dots. I don't know which one's mine.
Well, my family makes fun of my picture because like my one eye is so closed because I'm trying to like narrow in.
I'm the same way. My picture's intense. I mean, because I play to win. Like I'm not there for the picture, man. I'm like,
you're competitive.
Because at Disneyland, I had the gun comes out at Disneyland, man. I was ready.
Oh, the gun does come out. I went to Disneyland like maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and I was like, I like this better because it does come out. But I like how Steve said on Midway Mania, you feel like you need Tommy John surgery, and I love it because my oldest son, he's 21 now, but he's super competitive, and he does like he'll play that game and he goes all out, and he comes out holding his elbow, and it makes me laugh.
Oh yeah, they should have like Icy Hot in the right outside the door or something. Just like, oh man, they should have like a trainer from for like a retired trainer from like the Houston Astros or something out there. Like, oh, you're gonna take care of you. Ice that baby down before you go over to Sci-Fi and get something to eat. Yeah, it's no joke. I mean, if you're competitive, you gotta be careful.
For the record, we can't get a reservation there either.
Good, because everybody today they're posting. I see food blogs posting. There's great new items at Sci-Fi now. I'm like, well, great. That's something else I won't get. They look good. Thanks.
Yeah, nice. We can never get one. My husband's always like, well, how come you don't make a reservation there? I'm like, because I can't get it.
Because I talk to Mike Rallman and I'm banned. That's why.
Well, we just have to get the buffalo chicken sandwich and be happy with that.
I'm grateful. That's what I get. That's a lot. It's my lot in life, I guess, as C-3PO says.
Well, hey, I'll let you get some more callers, but I hope Scotty G, he's probably still acclimating to the time change, but he's having a great time. I want to hear how many Hawaiian shirts he bought before he went.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
I can't wait to hear the trip report.
No, same. It'll be epic and awesome because that's how he is with his family, and I can't wait to. Well, hey, I hope your dad's doing better too. You said you made that trip out to see your dad, so I'll keep him in our prayers.
Yeah, I might be going out there quite a bit in the next few months. So I'm just going to rack up those frequent flyer miles in Southwest, and so it is what it is. It happens. It's the circle of life. So, absolutely. But all
right, well,
it's all good.
Okay, we'll keep him in our prayers. All right. Well, you take care.
Oh, thank you. Hey, right, you Ian. Too. Good talking to you.
All right, good talking to you. Take care. Tell the family we said hello.
All right. Bye, Mike.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye. All right. Great call there from Ian from the Planned Disney panel. And we have our next call. Love it that you guys are calling in. Thank you so very much. Who's joining us next?
This is Ryan from Tennessee.
Hey, Ryan, Tennessee. Another big SEC state that won this weekend. What's going on?
I'm doing great. I can't complain after yesterday. We got a defensive showing instead of an offensive showing, but that's okay. But I'll let you brag on your Mizzou Tigers. I mean, to be bowl eligible at this point, you got to be stoked.
I mean, it's we got 3 teams in the SEC that are bowl eligible. The 3 blue bloods. We say we got Georgia, Alabama, and the Mizzou Tigers carrying the conference. We got to take it while we can have it. No, I appreciate you guys taking out the Aggies. That was I was watching you guys because you guys were the mid-afternoon game on SEC on CBS. So I've always said Neyland is unmatched. I mean, and you guys checkerboarded it, and oh my gosh, it's awesome. I mean, I can't wait, and I'm already taking Mallory's. Like, I got to take her because we have 2 season tickets at Mizzou, and she wants to go so bad to the Tennessee game on November 11th. So we're doing a daddy-daughter game when they come up. So it's going to be fun. Looking forward to it.
Well, it should be a good game the way you guys are playing this year. But I actually had to watch it on DVR because I was driving back from Walt Disney World yesterday, and I had mentioned to you I would call in and kind of do a mini report if that was okay with you.
Yes, sir. Let's hear it.
Yeah. So, and if I'm monopolizing any time or you need to kick me off, you just do it. But so we went for this last week, which was our kids' fall break, which we've been planning for a while, and we had kind of a non-traditional land and sea. So we did 4 days at the parks, and then we did 3 days at Vero Beach, actually, as opposed to the cruise. So and that turned out really good. But I'll try to kind of keep it to the highlights here. So we went in, and first day we stayed at Wilderness Lodge because I'm a DVC member, and so we got points for that. And then which was great. Can't beat Geyser Point for sure. Ate there first night, and then we went to Epcot the next day. Got in first thing into the park the early hours, and they were shuttling people into Moana's Way of Water. I'm already blanking on the name of that, the newest attraction there.
I think it's the Way of Water. The Moana, the Way of Water, or something. We know what you're talking about. Whatever it's called. Because everything nowadays has like the longest name. It can't just be like Test Track. Yeah. So yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. Well, we weren't really expecting it. We kind of came in, and they're like, "Go here," and like all of a sudden we were walking in there, like. Because I guess it wasn't technically open at this point, but they were kind of like shuttling people into it early and stuff, which worked out pretty well because, as you kind of alluded to when you've talked about it, even I know I may not have been there yet, but it is a walk-through attraction, and so I think it really is going to shine when it's truly a walkthrough and people aren't lining up like crazy to try to get through it, because you kind of want to just sit there and kind of play with the stuff and not be hampered by trying to get in there really quick. But it was really neat. There's a lot of interactive stuff, really cool for my kids. I have 3 daughters that are aged 4, 7, and 10.
Oh, it's probably perfect for them. Yeah, it's probably going to be right up their alley. And here's the thing, I think, too, for kids that age. I mean, again, this is just my background. I think what's great about an attraction like that, especially like you say, once the hype dies down and you're truly able to just kind of pass through and take your time and spend as much time as you want or as little time. I think what it is that you're going to get exposure to things like the water cycle and how things work, is that you might not learn it all when you're walking through there. But then when the teacher brings that up in school, your kids are going to be able to say, "Oh yeah, I remember when I was at Walt Disney World that I saw something," and there's a relationship already there. And that makes the learning a little deeper. I think that's what Walt Disney World's really good about, that you don't really learn the lesson at Walt Disney World, but you make a connection like, "Oh yeah, I've heard about that before. Now I have kind of an interest. My interest is peaked already because I've been exposed to that." I think Spaceship Earth does that well too.
Yeah, for sure. And then we kind of went through and did the Epcot things through the day. But that Moana was kind of the highlight. Went back and then the next day we did the breakfast at Ohana, which was the first time I'd been there, which was great for sure. I didn't even know that it was kind of all you can eat, but that worked out really well, and the kids interacted with the characters and had a good time. And then we did the Halloween party that night. We all went dressed as pirates, which hit it off really well. If you can dress as a pirate for the Halloween night, it's really good because the pirates right outside of Pirates of the Caribbean are super interactive with you.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. They are. They want to play with you.
Yeah, so they even they were like, can we take our picture with you? Which was kind of different because we were all dressed as pirates and came into their thing, and they pulled us in right after that. And so, with the Halloween party this year, a lot of times they're having live actors in it, and maybe they do normally, but they didn't really have live actors in Pirates of the Caribbean, but they had a ton of them outside of it, which I thought was better because they were kind of interacting with all the guests outside of it even more so than they really did when they were in the attraction. And I thought that was kind of cool. And so went through that, was able to get the Tron Lightning Lane, or not Lightning Lane, but the virtual queue for that, which I was like, we ended up staying at the party till about 1 a.m. in the morning because I got like lane 208. So it was like the last virtual queue. And my kids really wanted to ride it. And so we pushed it a lot later than we normally have.
Just keep giving them sugar. That's what I did with my girls. Just kept giving them sugar and keeping them. Terrible parenting, but I mean, it was like one night, you know, and we're at the Magic Kingdom. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, and at the end of the party, of course, like when people aren't going through the trick or treat lines, my 4-year-old would go through the line right outside of Carousel of Progress, which was the trick or treat point, and then run down the ramp and go right back around. And she did it like 7 times. And she got up there like the 4th time. They're like, "Haven't we seen you before?" And she blatantly lied.
That's my twin
like,
sister. No, I got a twin. No, they don't care.
She's blatant, like, of course, it went right back down and ran around because then what, at the beginning when those trick or treat lines are really long, if you're going to stay for later, you should just wait. Don't wait in line even though they go quick, like at the end, there is no line. And then like, you can just go back and back and back.
Right. Yeah. They just want to see people at the end. Okay, real quick. Amy in the live chat on Facebook's asking, how was Tron? Did you guys enjoy it?
Yeah, it was really good. I think we probably ended up waiting like 35 minutes or so in the virtual queue, maybe a little bit longer or less. I'm not sure. I think, it is one where if you really had to wait a long time to ride it, it might be slightly disappointing just how fast it is, but it's really neat. I mean, and it goes really fast and it's fun and it's super smooth, so I'm a big fan of it. I would be positive for it, but I also would know that if I had to wait like 2 hours for it, it would seem a little quick.
Yeah, it is fast. But see, the older I get, I'm cool with that. Like, I don't need something that's 5 minutes long because I'm getting old. Like, I get it. But if I was like, 30, I'd be like, man, this thing is too short. I'm just like, you know what? I got to go through it real quick. I'm good. I'm go get me something to eat.
Yeah, but I'm skipping through all this really quick.
No problem. Yeah, no problem.
It was really our big day, and we did a VIP tour that day on Wednesday of our trip. And let me just tell you, Mike, let me put it this way: don't do it. Well, that's my advice.
So no, what's your? I missed that. What you did? What you say not to do?
Yeah, so we did the VIP tour, and I'm saying this is my advice: don't do it.
Okay.
Don't do it, Mike. And I'm going to tell you why. If you do it, you're going to have such a fantastic day.
Okay.
If you can do this bucket list item, you're going to ask yourself, this one time in a lifetime, I'm going to do it one time. And then right after you get done with it, you're going to be like, how am I going to do this again?
Yeah. Okay. There's okay. For one thing, I'm so cheap that it'd be hard for me to ever, but here's the thing. We have the Forresters. So Pam and her husband, Steve and Hannah, and Scott's family. Yeah. So Scott, Elizabeth, and his daughter, Emily, and my family, we've all talked because you can get like a group of 12, right? And we've talked about splitting the cost in doing this a couple of different times. And if you split the cost, it isn't horrible. Like, I mean, it's super expensive. Don't get me wrong. And we still haven't ever pulled the trigger, but we've talked about it. We've come close. But you're exactly, it's like a veranda on a cruise, right? Once you get a taste of a veranda, there's certain things you got to be careful, man. It's like once you get a taste, it's really hard to go back. Yeah. So you guys, so what was the highlight? Like, what has you saying that?
Well, I'll say that because I did do it. This is the second time that we've done it. And the first time, like, I blew out all my credit card points, had no credit card points left, had all my Disney gift cards, and I got it all, found the cheapest day. Because if you do look around, you can kind of find out what the prices are going to be on certain days. So just to give you a little background, I guess, on it, and you probably know better than me, but so if you're going to do one, it's a minimum of 7 hours that you can start at any point on the day that you want. And they will kind of pick you up anywhere on Disney property that you want to be picked up on, or start at wherever. It starts as soon as you meet your guide. So when you get your guide, and meet them, that is when the VIP tour starts. It can range anywhere, and again, I know this is you probably know this, of course, but it can range anywhere from $425 to $900 depending on the day and how busy it is. And those $425, it may be $450 now. It was $425, I think, the first time I did it, and I may have bumped up just a little bit to the minimum price. But you know, those are kind of unicorn days.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday and Wednesdays are definitely the cheapest, usually when you're looking out for this. And obviously, kind of February, January is going to end up being cheaper. Some of the midsummer months are going to be cheaper. You get around spring break, fall break, those type of things, you're going to be closer to the higher days. And obviously, the weekends are going to be a lot more expensive than the other days. But essentially, minimum 7 hours. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, what I would say too is just kind of look at the ticket calendar, because it's probably going to slide like in accordance with like your higher ticket price days for Magic Your Way tickets are going to be your higher price days for the tour.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, and like you look on Facebook, you can find people. I mean, I think people call into the agency and find out what the prices are ahead of time. And so there are ways to find it. There's not like anything official. But there are ways to find out what the cost will be prior to calling in. You really got to call in right at 60 days prior. So you can't book it till 60 days prior, and they will book up, so they will sell out these VIP tours. If you call in, like on the phone, they'll be like, if you're calling for X amount of days, which are like 30 days from now, we're all booked up on the line. It's a minimum of 7 hours, maximum of 10. You can have up to 10 people. And if you have any more than that, then you need another guide, which is essentially double the price. So if you go to 11 people, then you're double the guide.
Yeah, so your 11th person, you're just we'll see you tomorrow. You're drawing straws at that point.
So like the best strategy they would say is start right where you want to start your ride. So meet the guide in the park at the ride, because that maximizes your time from there.
Good tip.
So I did not do that. I had them pick us up at the Wilderness Lodge because, you know, I just wanted to, because if it was going to be a VIP tour, I just felt like I wanted to go through security easily.
Yeah.
And I wanted to just get picked up at the resort. So anyways, they picked us up at the resort. And basically there was a Halloween party that night, and we kind of done all of the Magic Kingdom that we wanted to do in the previous days. And so we went to Hollywood Studios. We got there and we did Rock and Roller Coaster, Mickey's Runaway Railroad, Rise of Resistance. We did Blinky Dog Dash. We did Toy Story Mania. We did Tower of Terror. We did all that within about 3 hours. So now the tour guide basically is an unlimited lightning lane pass. So now, if you're going into this with some expectation of what it is going to be you're going to be able to go into the lightning lane, and that should be your expectation. I will say that they do have some tricks that get you a little faster through the lightning lane at times, but so at times they'll kind of skirt you around different areas in the lightning lane, especially if they're busy. But for the most part, the expectation should be that it's basically just a lightning lane pass for it. Additional, so once you get out of done with the park that you want to get done with, then they will take you in a private, you know, in our case, van, because there was 10 of us actually that was a part of it. And we went to from there to Animal Kingdom, where we did just the Pandora rides, the Flight of Passage, and Navi River Journey. And we actually then ate at Satuli Canteen. You know, again, when you're doing the VIP tour,
don't do a sit down,
it's
right?
tough for me to say. I mean, this is really to get as many rides done as you can, right? It's kind of how most people would look at it. But I would not tell you to do that if you want to get rides done, because if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably savvy enough with the system in terms of the Disney. If you're willing to, do Genie Plus and buy individual lightning lanes, you're going to be able to get a ton of rides done, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're savvy enough, I think you can get, 10, 12 rides done in a park if you start at the early hours, especially if you have a reservation on Disney property and you bought Genie Plus and you can get a ton of rides done. But you do so when you have the guide, right? You have no stress in planning that. You just kind of tell them what you want to get done and they make it happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
They take you in the efficient way to do it. You don't have to stress about making sure that you're getting that fast pass every single time, or lightning lane. You don't have to think about, how do I get from A to B? You just are guided through the parks with no stress. And, again, one of the big things that Disney, for me, that keeps me coming back and back and bringing my family back and back is, again, all the magical interactions that you have with the cast members. And I can't speak for other VIP tour guides, but we have the tour guide that I've had the 2 times, because we requested her again, was Kelly Ball, or Kelly B, I should say. I don't know if Kelly Ball. If you were looking for the best VIP tour guides, she's going to pop up.
Mm-hmm.
And she is phenomenal. I can't tell you, like, the first time we did it, we've never met her. She walks up to the resort. My 4-year-old, then 3-year-old, ran up and hugged her. Never met her.
That's awesome.
I don't know how that happens. Like, not scared at all. Like, and not timid. Runs up, hugs her. Right. And this my girl's almost tackled her, and it had been a year and a half. She remembered details from our previous tour, about our favorite colors, which they had asked the girls because she had gotten magic bands for the family that was with us last time because they forgot them at home, right? And she recalled details about their lives from that. She'd obviously had extensive notes on us, which we had never thought we were going to do this again. She had the girls. I'll tell you, the experience with the tour guide is really what made the difference for us, because when you get to spend all day with a cast member that is dedicated to you, that is of the quality that's ended up in the VIP tour system, right? I mean, it is a unforgettable experience, and almost, to me, was worth it even if we didn't even get on any rides, because my girls had such fun with her. And so and we've done the rides and the experiences, but that was really, really great. And obviously you have a day at Disney with no stress.
You're getting the day,
so anyways,
you're getting the day like that's advertised on TV, like you're seeing in the commercials. Like, you're getting to see Disney at its best with the best cast member on property, basically. That has the resources to provide you with really anything you're looking for, which is what you're seeing in the commercial.
Exactly. And the best thing, and I can't harp on this enough with the VIP tour guide, was that, like, and when we're walking around too, and so I can't guarantee this with any other tour guide, because other tour guides are saying, you're so lucky you got the best tour guide.
When they're saying that about a colleague, that's great.
Yeah, we're recounting other tour guides who are like, you're so lucky you got the best tour guide. But when she would come up, she was like walking around with a celebrity. Like, every cast member knew her. Like, and they lit up like the smiles of kids in the commercials for Disney. When Kelly would walk up, she was like a celebrity at Disney. So, like, that's awesome. That was crazy. Like, and I'll tell you, because my daughter sat in gum outside of
course,
Mickey's Runaway Railway.
Yeah.
And she immediately went to try to get the gum off of my daughter, was like getting it. And like all these cast members that knew her, like, ran to assist her in getting my daughter. I didn't even know what to do. I froze up because I was like, I should be getting the gum off of her that she just sat in.
Yeah.
And there was like 12 cast members surrounding her getting gum off of her shirt because they all knew Kelly.
That's awesome. Man, that is great.
So Yeah, so it was crazy. So again, if you ever do a VIP tour, you can request a guide. It's kind of one of those things too, like if you know someone specifically, obviously you can request them specifically. It's not guaranteed, but you can also just say like, hey, I want somebody that's really good with kids that will be willing to ride on rides with us, or hey, I want somebody who's super efficient that's going to get us through the park super fast and get us on every single ride that we can. So you can give them a description, and they'll try to match you up with that too, of course, because they're trying to get you the best day that you want as possible.
Are you talking to yourself?
Sorry, that's my 4-year-old. You want to say hi, Maddie?
Who are you talking to?
Hi, Maddie. your daddy's not talking to himself. He's talking to the whole world. So here on the radio.
Yeah. No, it's just a guy. It's one of the podcasts that I listen to. I'm talking to him. So
she'll get to hear herself on Thursday,
Really?
so you have to play it back to her.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, she can listen to herself on Thursday. Hi. It's so cute.
Anyway, so we went to Epcot after that. After we finished at Satu'li Canteen, which we ate there, we did Avatar. They did Avatar twice, or Flight of Passage twice, and then we went to Epcot and we did Guardians of the Galaxy. We would have gone on it twice, but it broke down right after our first time. Did Test Track, and we did Frozen Ever After, and then she dropped us off at the VIP area, which is right outside Germany, which has picnic tables and is roped off for the fireworks. And they did that, which was just a great view, of course, especially since it and then she left at that point. So it was just the best day. My girls are smiling the whole time, like the Disney commercials. I mean, if you can do it, and again, split it like I split this one with my dad, so that it was that made it much more affordable for us. We were at the parks less, so we only, we had, 2-day tickets plus the Halloween party. So, we were able to get a lot done and save that way. Obviously, we were DVC members, so we prepaid our hotel stuff. But I will say, like, it's one of those things, I saved it all up for my bucket list the last time in February 2022. I wasn't going to ever do it again. It was the one-time thing. And then I did it, and I had to figure out how to do it again. So I conned my dad into doing it. And my dad, the same thing. He's like, wow, I thought this was really extravagant until I did it. And my gosh, it was worth it.
It's amazing what you do when your kids have a good time. You'll make it happen. That's how it is as a parent.
Yeah. So, but again, I can't guarantee that, because I can only say that with our tour guide, she was phenomenal. Really an amazing experience. And if you can do it, definitely do it, but buyer beware. You may be trying to do it again.
Yeah. So real quick, because we have a few other calls trying to get in here. Real quick, let me ask you about Vero Beach. What did you think of that experience? So tell us a little bit about that real quick.
Yeah, I love Vero Beach. It's we get there. It's very chill. I mean, it's like but the nice thing about it is the pool is big, the slide is big, the cast members are super nice. The accommodations are really good. But there's nothing on the agenda. So if you can do that, especially kind of after a Disney trip, I mean, then you kind of go from something that is, potentially super streamlined, super planned, and, stress at least of trying to get to the different things you're trying to get to while you're there, to a no agenda on the beach with some fun activities mixed in to keep the kids entertained, and super peaceful. We really love Vero Beach. It's the second time we've been there, and similar to where we've been to Hilton Head a lot, where cast members are really friendly. Again, you get a lot more interaction with cast members because there's no parks. So same thing with Hilton Head. You get to experience, just the magic of Disney in terms of the customer service, and how much, they want to make everyone really feel at home.
And it gives you your vacation from your vacation. You've been going hard. You get to just sit and relax and just detach a little bit before you got to go readjust to the real world. I got to get out to Vero. I've never done that.
And it makes my wife happy, because she's not the Disney
That'd make my wife. Yeah, my wife would love it. Yes, say my wife would love that. It's just hard if you're not a DVC member. It is so hard to get a reservation there. It is so hard.
Yeah.
Because it's not very big.
Kind of, I think prior to COVID, it wasn't as bad. It was the same thing with Hilton Head, like where occasionally I would do cash for those beach resorts. And once COVID hit and people kind of seemed like they discovered it because they were using points where they could use them. And then, and that seemed to even make it harder.
Yeah. I have a buddy, Joe, down in Atlanta. He's always like, Mike, can you get me one at, cause he's in Atlanta, right? He's in striking distance. He's like, I'll do any weekend in, give me a month. And I'm like, dude, nothing. And I try all the time. There's just, it's so hard, but, so, I mean, everybody goes there, raves about it. And we got Vero Mike here in the chat. He lives there and he says it's just awesome. So man, living like, wait, I love this. I mean, I love hearing your girls in the background. Like, this is perfect. This just makes my night. You're just hearing the great time you had with your family, and you got to have such just the perfect Disney day. And more importantly, you got to share the experience with our audience. So the folks that might be thinking about this now have more information to make a great decision and think about it, see if this is for them, because you know what? Like you said, it's a bucket list thing. You're not going to do this every trip, but I mean, save those rewards points with your Disney Visa, ask for Disney gift cards at the holidays for your birthday. And you know what? This could be something you talk about for 10 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I appreciate you letting me talk to it. I'll let you get your other calls in, but it's,
no, I appreciate it.
I hope that, I hope you lose to the Vols.
We'll see you in Columbia on November 11th, buddy. We'll see you.
All right.
You take care. Take care of that family. All right. We'll see you soon. All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
All right. It's a great call. I learned a lot on that call. I loved hearing the girls in the background. All right. We have our next call. Thanks for being patient. Hey, who's joining us?
What's going on, Mike? This is Brandon from West Virginia, aka Uncle Orville.
Hey, Uncle Orville, what's going on? Now, we're not going to talk about the Mountaineers. I promise you that this week.
No, it was man. This has been a rough few days for my sports team. My Orioles got swept. The Thundering Herd and the Mountaineers both lost. But today, my Dolphins saved my sports week. So they had a big win against the 0-5 Carolina Panthers, but we won't talk about the record.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, we had the matchup of the two former Bama quarterbacks there today, and Tua took it home.
I know. With Jalen Waddle in the mix, it was a roll tide kind of day. That
was. You got his touchdown. So hey, no, thanks for calling in. I love seeing your sports, posts on Instagram and all the stuff you're doing with the with your athletes. So thank you for doing that. That's awesome. You're out there helping these future athletes. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we wrapped up our season last weekend, so it's always bittersweet to say goodbye to the 8th graders, but we have a good young crew coming back next year, so I'm excited. But it's nice to have a little bit of an off season. So.
I hear you. Seasons go too quick though. Like, we're sitting in the stands at our high school football game with I sit with all the cheer parents, and we're sitting there on Friday night like, next week's the last football game before playoffs. Like, how did that happen? Like 3 weeks ago, we were sitting here complaining how hot it was, and the season had just started, and next week's the last game. It's like, man, stuff goes so quickly.
Yeah. Our season usually starts the first week of August, and it wraps up the first weekend of October. So we start when it's really hot, and usually by the time we finish, it's 50s, maybe upper 40s, 60s if we're lucky. So it's an odd time of the year here in West Virginia.
Absolutely. Well, beautiful place. And so what's on your mind tonight? Let's talk.
Well, something you said the other day on one of this week's show, I can't remember. I think you were talking to Ricky, and you mentioned the Taco Bell chili cheese burrito.
Eat them every week.
And usually I listen. I'm an early riser like yourself, so usually I'm out the door running 4:30, 5 a.m. before school. And you said that, and it stopped me in my tracks, because that's one of my wife and my all-time favorite Taco Bell dishes. And are they readily available in the Midwest? Because I know here in West Virginia, there's one Taco Bell that I can think of within a 20+ mile radius that carries those.
I love this. This is why I have a podcast right here. Yeah. So they're not on the menu. They're not on the menu at my Taco Bell. But see, we used to, I don't even, here we go. We used to have a place that I went to after church on Sunday nights with my dad every week. It was called Zantigo's. It was like a cheaper version of Taco Bell. Like back when I was younger, Taco Bell was expensive. Believe it or not, it was like we didn't go because it was too expensive. But Zantigo's was like cheap fast food Mexican. So we went there and they had a chili cheese burrito, and then they changed the name to a Chilito. No, it was called a Chilito, and then they changed it to a chili cheese burrito. Well, eventually, I think Taco Bell bought Zantigo's. And long story short, it became the chili cheese burrito. So they had it forever at Taco Bell, but then they took it off the menu. But I've just always asked for it, and it's not on the menu, but they make it, and it's the same thing. But yeah, it's not on the menu, but it's $3.99 for this little bitty burrito. But I'm addicted. It's like my drug. I mean, I only get one. I only get one because it's so expensive. Because like you can get a bean burrito, it's the same size for like 99 cents or $1.39 or something. I mean, it's totally a ripoff, but I got to have my one every time I go. So they do have them. So good, just ask, I guess. Yeah. Good. But yeah, I've had it at like 2 or 3 different Taco Bells, but they're never on the menu. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, maybe I should start asking, because if there's one that has them on the menu, and luckily it's down within about a mile from where we teach. So I can always pop over there on lunch and grab one if I need my fix.
So good.
But wanted to give you a credit. I mean, forget Ozzie Smith. You're the true Wizard of Oz, calling the park hopping going away.
I try. I
mean, Friday show.
I got to be careful what I bring up on Mondays, man. It happens by Friday.
With great power comes great responsibility. But Spider-Man taught us.
Stupid as I am, man, that could be dangerous.
I heard that this morning on my run, and I was like, man, what can I get Mike and the gang to claim for me that will just come true? Maybe a Dolphin Super Bowl, or Marshall national championship or something. I don't know.
Hey, man. I'm a long-suffering Mizzou fan. You know how hard I'd root for us to be in the playoff or something like that. I'd give them a left leg or something, man. It's crazy.
Hey, you guys had a big win yesterday against the Wildcats.
We try. Yeah, that was I like that one. I'm just saying, Kentucky's given us a bitter pill to swallow many times, and I've been there for a lot of them. So yeah, that was a sweet victory. Anyway, no, but yeah. So what are you excited about because here's the thing, like I'm trying to think about this with the all-day park hopping. I am glad that it's going away because it just takes one less thing to think about. I think that, going to Disney, and you've been going for a long time, it shouldn't be as hard as it is, right? And this just takes one more hurdle out of the equation that you got to think, okay, well, I got to wait till 2:00. Like if it's noon, I'm like in limbo for 2 hours. Like I'm trapped. I can't do anything till then. But I mean, it's not going to affect a whole lot of people.
Yeah, that's the situation we find ourselves in, because we're early risers. So we try to get there, rope drop and do all we can before the park kind of busies. And like you said, you kind of get done and you're like, all right, well, now will be the time to perfectly, hop over to another park. But you check your watch and you're like, all right, well, I got 2 hours to burn, and we're usually Pop Century, Art of Animation people, so we're like, it's too far to go back to the hotel unless we're wanting to maybe hop to Epcot or Hollywood Studios. So you kind of find yourself in a weird like limbo. Mm-hmm. But that's nice now, where some parks you may just want to go in and do a couple of rides and then hop over. I mean, we're no disrespect to Scotty G and his love of Animal Kingdom, but we're rope drop Animal Kingdom, Everest, Flight of Passage, maybe grab some Satuli or one of the Night Blossom slushy things, then we're on to the next park. So,
yeah, that's me too. I mean, I'll do the safari, maybe see the Lion King show if like the first show's happening pretty quick. I enjoy that. Yeah, but I'm in and out of there usually before lunch. And so, because like one of our listeners brought up not too long ago how they park hop there to the second half of the day. And like it totally blew my mind. Like I'd never even thought to go to another park and then go there like later. I was like, never thought of that. Like I always go there early and I'm out at lunch. Like I've never been there in the afternoon ever, but it's probably a great idea because I bet you most people do what we do, go early and jump out. So they're saying I would agree.
Cools off a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe. So I was gonna
I wish they would stay open later because you miss out on all of the bioluminescent,
Right.
you know, the little effects in Pandora because I know they have to close a little earlier, but it's a shame that you don't get to see that. Yeah, that's a beautiful effect.
Well, do you run the races? You run, don't you? All the Run Disney ones?
That actually is one of my goals, but just the times of the year. I've always wanted to make it down for one. I've ran a few. There's the Marshall Marathon here in Huntington that I've done a few times, and a couple of half marathons, but never a Run Disney event.
See, okay, here's one thing. I'm giving you props because my grandparents grew up in Ashland, Kentucky. So they grew up in Catlettsburg, Kentucky.
Yeah.
So all I've heard about is how hilly it is where you are. And my dad goes out there once in a while because he owns the piece of land, like just like a lot. He owns like one lot, like like a house that sits on a lot. He owns the lot where my grandpa's house was when he grew up.
Oh,
It's like from like the early 1900s. Because he calls it Rallman Mountain because it's like on top of a hill.
Yeah, we the school that we teach in is right across the river from Catlettsburg. It's in a town called Cerrito, which was actually the place for the Marshall University plane crash back in the 70s.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's kind of how that city is on the map, sadly. But yeah, Catlettsburg is just a stone's throw from the middle school that my wife and I teach at.
I'll have to show you this picture because I have a picture here. It's right over my shoulder. I keep here in the office. It's of my grandpa's family, a large family. When my grandpa was 3, and it's them standing on this lot where they were building this chicken coop that tragically caught on fire later after they built it, and his twin sister was killed in the fire. But it's my grandpa was born in 1921. He's 3 in the pictures. This picture's from 1924 in Catlettsburg.
Oh, wow.
But I mean, my dad went back and bought this lot because the people that owned it put it up for sale. So he bought it for, minimal price. But my grandpa, when he was alive, always told the stories of how hilly it is. And so I give you props because I hate running hills. That's why I'm on treadmill every day. I hate hills.
It's odd though, where we live and not to promote the Marshall Marathon, because it's usually the same weekend as Wine and Dine. But it's a flat course.
That's what somebody Andrew says that right now in the live chat. He's like, it's a surprisingly flat.
Yeah, I know a lot of people use it to get their Boston qualifiers. And the cool thing is you like the last 200 yards are on the football field. So you go in like through the visitors exit or entrance, go down to the far end zone. And on the way back, they hand you a football, and you get to cross the goal line as the finish line.
Oh my God, so that's awesome! Oh my God, I gotta look into this now.
Yeah, yeah, it's a really cool. I mean, it kind of gives you a tour of the city. You get to go down to really pretty areas. Some stretches are kind of desolate at my pace. Most of the faster runners have already come through, and I'm kind of back of the pack, kind of back third. So there's some stretches where it's just me and open pavement, which you kind of get in your head.
Yeah, that'd be me.
In the mornings, I run around our little town here, and it's pretty flat. There's some hills if you want to find some hills, but there's also some pretty good flat spaces there if you're looking for just nice, easy, beautiful area.
That's cool. Yeah.
Before I let you go here,
go ahead.
I wanted to weigh in on the Friday topic about being CEO.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was hoping somebody would bring up. Good.
Kind of going with the running theme here. My first would be just kind of a generic Run Disney store at Disney Springs.
Thank you. Yes.
Maybe they could.
I've said that forever.
They could maybe use it as an outlet for some of the race specific stuff. But I would love just to get like a nice, like long sleeve kind of tech hoodie to wear on like cold mornings to run in, or just a t-shirt or something. I mean, not being able to make it down for the races. I feel like that would be, I mean, no disrespect to Fleet Feet or whatever it's called, but could that just be transformed into a Run Disney kind of just, still sell the shoes, still sell the stuff, but have some just generic Run Disney merchandise? I
100% agree. One, it would work great for race weekends. Okay, so let's just start here real quick. It'd be great for race weekends for people that forget things. You could have a second place where you don't have to go all the way over to Wide World of Sports. It'd be way easier if you're staying at Riverside, French Quarter, Saratoga Springs, Old Key West. You get on a bus, just head over to Disney Springs. Maybe you're having dinner there already, and just pick up something you need. You have supplies there, things you might need, gels. You don't have to have a ton of them because, but you have runners' needs. But like you say, more importantly, year round, you don't have like stuff that says wine and dine or springtime surprise, nothing like that. But you have, like you said, tech shirts that just say Run Disney, with like a real, because you know what? Even people that aren't Run Disney runners are going to buy that stuff in bulk because people are just runners and they're going to be on a Disney vacation. So they're runners and they're at Disney. They're going to buy that stuff. And I bet you there's going to be 20% of people that buy it that don't even know what Run Disney is, but they'll buy it anyway. That's such a no-brainer. Yeah. I agree with that.
Every once in a while, you'll see some stuff on like Shop Disney, but it's not very, very often. And it's usually like race specific stuff, or if they're having some kind of event where they're wanting to, promote something, they'll have, and it's not marked down, which is fine. I'll gladly pay, full rack rate for a tech hoodie or a t-shirt or zip up, whatever. So that would be my first, trying to help Disney out, trying to make them some money. Because my second thing would be, one of two things. My first idea would be to allow people to pre-order the refillable resort mugs at a slight discount.
That's a good idea.
We always buy one because I have to have my morning Coke Zero or my last thing before I go to bed, Coke Zero. So we're good for the 20, but if they could just, kind of like they used to do with the Magic Bands, or maybe they still kind of do, where if you order it before you arrive, they take off $5, or maybe buy one, get one if they're feeling extra generous.
I like that idea. And because they're always talking about sustainability, what if, and I know this has to be possible, it can't be that difficult. What if they let you bring it back like not forever, but let you bring back one from a previous trip, say for like 2 years, and you get 50% off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like instead of it being $20, it's $10, but you bring your mug. You're still getting $10 for just the soda. You know what I'm saying? They're not even having a cost of a mug. And they could use that as a sustainability, point on their next PowerPoint presentation to whoever. I've always thought that because also would be is programming that chip on the bottom.
Yeah, and you kind of see this done, hush hush with the popcorn buckets. You can once
because they can't
as long
chip
as you're
them.
within kind of the general, not to have Disney come after me, but you can reuse those, and they're still making $2 or $2 plus whatever it is now, for popcorn that literally costs pennies to make. Same thing with soda. Soda's very cheap. It's the mug that has the cost in, and just I don't know. I would love to have some kind of special there. I wouldn't go as far as say give it free the way they used to with the dining plan. Maybe that will come back in the new year when they bring back the dining plan. But until then, maybe a nice pre-order, $5 off if you buy it before you arrive.
But it's still not free with the dining plan. It's just built into the cost of the dining plan. Like I still think that's a great inclusion. It's a great inclusion because it's built into the price of the dining plan. But as a customer, as a guest, you feel like you're getting something free. I think the way they're doing it, it makes it feel good to the guest. Because the thing is, like, they're building it into the price, and it feels like they're handing you something that, oh man, I'm getting free drinks for for my entire stay. I like that idea because I guess because I'm a sucker, right? I mean, I always used to be like, woo, I'm getting a mug. I don't know, that was me. I'm such a sucker for things like that.
Disney free is more about the feeling it gives you, as opposed to
but I'm paying a fortune. Exactly. I'm not getting anything free. Whatever.
It makes me feel like it's all inclusive because I've already paid for it up front and have been paying on it, $100 a time, buying gift cards at Sam's Club, whatever we got to do.
Yeah, totally.
To make it there. All right. And my final thing would be, kind of keeping in line with your all's theme from Friday of, focusing on Hollywood studios. I would bring back a great movie ride, but use it similar technology to what they have with Mickey and Minnie, with how the set pieces just kind of change and the projections, so that it would be a little more easier for them to update it. have some classic movies, but also be a way of promoting their newer stuff. Like, cause that's, like, I guess it's kind of the old saying, you don't realize what you have. Like, I miss growing up with the old MGM, the backlot tour, the great movie ride. And now that we don't have those things, you kind of get nostalgic and look back. So I would love to have some kind of just like simple dark ride through Disney animation, have some like pivotal scenes from classics, but also incorporate some of their newer stuff just to kind of generate buzz, but have it set up in a way that they could kind of plug and play different movies throughout the year, maybe seasonal, maybe something premieres, they could include a scene, but that would be my big CEO decision.
I like that. And here's the thing too. I wish, because I think, I think big companies get so entrenched in the way they do things that and I think you work in education, so you see this too. And I think this is huge in education, is that you get so caught up in like a dogma, right? In how things are done, that it's kind of hard to get off that train track and do things so differently. And I know that Disney goes in and they say, okay, we need to freshen things up. We got a new generation. Things need to be different. Things need to be embracing the newest technology. And we have a new audience coming in and this and that. But I don't think it always needs to be rip out and replace. I think that sometimes you need to just build additional, because the thing is, like, I love Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, but I don't love it as much at the cost of the Great Movie Ride. I think that we could have had both somehow. And I think that would have been the biggest win of all, because you're right. I mean, I just think that would have been a cool opportunity to, like you say, update it a little bit, but also keep some of the nostalgia, because what a way to introduce guests to, I mean, Disney's a movie company, and they have the best animation. Like, make it more of a celebration of what you do, Disney, as a company, but also have Mickey and Minnie's. Does maybe not even at the studios. I don't know. Who knows?
And there's so much space there. Like, my wife still mourns the loss of the Little Mermaid show that's been shuttered, since COVID, and really the signage is still there, the little characters, but like the Star Wars launch bay, I know it's used every once in a while for, special events, but there's so much space where I feel like you said, those two things, one doesn't have to go away for the other to exist. Like, Mickey and Minnie could have still been there. It's a great ride. Our kids love it. We love it. But at the expense of something that was just, with whether you're going to get the Western scene or the gangster scene, and your tour guide was a little bit different each time. Like, I feel like there was so much of that kind of kept the spirit of that park. I know it's no longer a working studio, and times change. And Walt said that Disney World isn't meant to be a museum, but you don't always have to. And exactly what you said about education, there's not always that need to like update thing. When something's working, like, you don't have to change it just for the sake of changing it. And, I know greater minds than me are, thinking about this, and they're doing the guest surveys, but I feel like there's also enough people out there who enjoy, like you said, like, that's the spirit of Disney, is the animation, is the movies, are the characters and the stories that they've told that's made them, or has brought them to where they are today as this, conglomerate.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I see it in their promotions nowadays. I mean, because, I've been lucky enough to go to some of these social media things over the past few years, and they have shown us, like, especially I've gone to some of the travel trade stuff as a travel agent, and they've showed us like how to promote our business and stuff like that. And they show us, okay, make everything choppy and make everything very vibrant, make it basically very TikTok. And so if you watch the commercials on TV, because I watch a lot of ESP college football, right? And on college football, especially on YouTube TV, they have a lot of Disney commercials, because, there's a lot of parks commercials. And the commercials now are like, if you watch them closely, like, and I watch them now as more of like a critical eye, like they're shot from like that, what's that kind of lens, that fisheye lens. They're almost like TikTok videos. If you watch them, they're very quick little hits. They're from like, somebody running around with an iPhone with like a fisheye lens. But I mean, that's what Disney is selling to America. Like, they're not the traditional, VHS planning video anymore. And so that's their audience. But I think it's got to be a balance too, because nostalgia is a powerful thing. And there's a lot of folks that grew up in the 80s and 90s in the park that don't want to 100% abandon what they had. I know that we gotta have new stuff, and I love new stuff. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind isn't for me. I get a little motion sick, but I think it's amazing. I've done it twice now. I mean, don't get me wrong. That thing's awesome. Like they hit a home run with it, and it doesn't have to be for me. The thing's great, but there's nothing that's a great attraction. I'm glad they have it, but you also can't get away from, you can't be scared to leave some things too. You gotta, and I think we're seeing too, you gotta increase capacity. We need more stuff. And so when you're always replacing, you're not building capacity. Len Testa talks about this a lot too. Like we need more things because that's how you get shorter wait times. That's common sense. And common sense ain't so common.
When what you're replacing, what you're building are these, virtual queue required rides that are just like causing, mass congestion of people walking around, looking at their phone, waiting, where something like Living with the Land or, Spaceship Earth, where there's, if there's a half an hour wait, that's, the parks are slammed that day, but it eats up people, even like the shows and stuff that I feel like is, and thankfully, with the announcement of World of Motion kind of getting a little nod in the test track update, like hopefully they go back to more of that, whether we'll ever see another dark ride, Omni Mover, slow, peaceful, just set pieces. I would love that. And our kids, we have 11, 8, and 3, and they love the exciting rides. They talk about Frozen Ever After and Remy, but they also talk about the Haunted Mansion and Spaceship Earth and Living with the Land, stuff that like my wife and I grew up loving, and being educators, we love that. I mean, Epcot is the marriage of my passions of Disney and social studies. Like, so I love that those rides get them excited. They love seeing the countries, things that you can't get at your local theme park, your local amusement park. That Disney can pull off in just spectacular ways. And it's like, I know there's a crowd that wants the thrill rides, and we love Guardians, but there's also, I feel like, room for both at the table. Have some slower paced rides.
And what's shocking too is that growing up, Paige and Mallory, my two daughters, who are now 27 and 15, she thinks she's 16, she's not yet, but they love Living with the Land. They love Carousel of Progress. And like you would think that the way Disney approaches things, that's like those kind of rides are toxic to teenagers. But somebody's not getting the message that, like 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds, even 16-year-olds still appreciate those kind of rides. They're not toxic to them. But I think there's like some kind of there's a disconnect there that those rides don't work for those, because I know that they're going to be more drawn to e-ticket attractions, but I think that you need to have it all. You need to have a buffet. You need to have variety. So I don't know. I think it's kind of what we're saying here. But I love this conversation because I think this is very much what a lot of people are thinking.
Yeah, and we ventured, across to the other park and like have ridden rides there and love them. Like I feel like that's kind of serves a different purpose. They're still great. I'm like, it's like Disney can pull off the slow, just like good animatronics, tell a story, kind of, I know you've mentioned this on the podcast with like the Enchanted Tales with Belle, like one of the most underrated,
100%.
Not a whole lot of people know it's back there. Like it's just kind of sitting there at the entrance to the Beast Castle and Be Our Guest restaurant. But like, it's such a neat experience that, you go in there, and I know like you, I've always get chosen as the suit of armor.
Yep.
But our kids talk about, we had one time a daughter was Chip, and the other was the Beast. And like, it's just that those are memories that they still talk about. And that was 5-6 years ago.
100%.
So I'm like, I feel like there's so much potential in just the simple storytelling that I love the thrill rides. I'm getting a little up there with, knee and back for, some of the Space Mountain.
Space Mountain tells you how old you are.
Yeah.
Oh yes, No, it's exactly right though. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I think that it's not that hard, right? I just think that some of these market research people, I wish they could just walk around with me and just like, I could spend a little time and just say,
Yeah.
just go into Enchanted Tales with Belt. We don't have to go on Guardians. Like Guardians is, yes, that's a no brainer. Like that thing's going to sell itself. You can tell by how many lightning lanes you sell. Like just leave that thing. Yes, you won that thing perfect. Like, but look at Enchanted Tales. Look at Carousel Progress and look at how many people love this. Like, and it's all generations.
Yeah.
It's not just grandma and grandpa in here. Like watch who's coming in and who's in, more importantly, who's singing the song when they leave. It's like a little 8-year-old, that sings the song. So I don't know. I just think, and I appreciate that we get to have this conversation. That's what I love because we have passionate fans and we all enjoy it for different reasons. But that's why it's so fun.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to hearing. I actually started the YouTube video from the Give Kids the World of the expansion draft, and I made it as far. I heard Ricky's first pick of Pirates, so I'm trying to. I'm not sure if because usually I listen to it on run, so I'm not sure if I can hold out and wait to hear that hour on one of the podcasts, or whether I should go back and try to squeeze some, maybe my lunch break at school or something and watch that episode. But her first pick kind of got me a little questioning how the rest of the draft will go.
I can't even remember what I picked. I just know that Pam picked a retired attraction and then it got everything off track and there was arguing. So I just know it was a mess.
Well,
but yeah, we'll get it out there.
That's kind of how baseball works.
Absolutely. Hey, well, I appreciate you having the great conversation tonight, taking time out of your busy Sunday night. And, best wishes here during, the fall time of the school year. Cause I know it's super busy and have a great fall season with your students and your athletes. I really appreciate you calling in.
All right, Mike. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Take care. Go Herd.
All right, you too.
All right.
All right. MIZ.
The ZOU. See you later. All right. Well, that is going to do it for tonight's show. But hey, I cannot thank you guys enough for the great calls because you carried the show. This was great. We had trip reports. We talked Vero Beach. We talked about VIP tours. We talked about what you would do. Man, such common sense ideas there from West Virginia. I mean, Ian called in, talked about the Planned Disney reunion going down and her plans for the Halloween party. And I love this because there's a passion for the Disney destinations. And that's what this is all about. That's what this show will always be about. Even after 15 years of podcasts, we can get back together. We can have a great time. It's always positive because of you guys. We have such the best community. And I just enjoy getting to share this with you. So thank you for making this a part of your Sunday night or your Thursday. If you're listening here on the feed, I don't get to say it enough, but just thank you for always taking the time to listen to our show and spreading the word about our show. That really does help. And if you don't mind this week, and I always say iTunes, I'm so old. If you could leave us a review somewhere, wherever you listen to the show, download the show, that would be very much appreciated. I forget to always ask about that. But that is how people discover podcasts is when there's a new review, it tends to pop that podcast up on the list. So if you wouldn't mind this week, just go over to Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to the show and give a review. That'd be amazing. I'd really appreciate that. Don't forget the show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. When it comes time to book your next Disney destination, Disney trip, I would love to personally help you take care of that. Just swing by themagicforless.com. All the details are over there. Also, we have an Amazon affiliate link that supports us throughout the year. BeOurGuestPodcast.com/Amazon, and our Patreon subscribers really carry the show and allow us to pay for all this, the video podcasting, the audio support, the hosting for the website. This all costs quite a bit of money, but it's all supported by our Patreon subscribers. If you wouldn't mind helping us at just $5 a month, that would be great. And thank you to everybody who does. You also get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. So come on over, patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. Give me a follow on the social media this week. I'd love to talk to you at Be Our Guest Mike on Instagram, Twitter /X, and Threads. And of course, Scott is out at Alani. So if you want some palm trees and oceans and stuff like that, I'm sure it's going to be awesome. At Scott, follow him. Let him know happy birthday. It's his 40th out there. So give him a shout out. All right. We'll be back again next Sunday night. Join us. Give us a call because Scott's still going to be gone. And we're going to do this again. I can't wait to talk to you guys. You guys are the best. So until we talk again, you guys have a great Sunday night or Thursday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. All right. See you guys. Have a good one. Go Beavs. Pac-12's killing it. Pac-2.